They wanted to make a mikveh, but they were all poor and only one rich Yidden was there who had money to build a mikveh. These are not going to build it. So Noam says to him, would you give the money for the mikveh if I give you for Mashiach becoming world? Well, he's not stupid. They're handing him Noam Mashiach becoming world, you know? It's 100%. Good. Thank you so much. So later on, people came back to Holy Hashem and told him that your biggest chosek of Noam Chernobyl gave his Shem become a word to somebody in order to give money for the mikveh. So the Hashem says, I would like to have the Shem, the coming word of that Yid, who gives up the share of the coming word for the mikveh. That means when you give up your share, the coming word for a mitzvah, you don't lose it when they say, wow, what a Yid is this, God. Gives up his share, the coming word for a mitzvah.
It's only if you don't know about that when you give it out.
Sure, well, you have to give it with all your heart, yeah.
You know, like the heart of those things, if you know it, then it's no big
There's an
deal.
unbelievable story which I heard in Bournemouth. We call it Judy. Chaim. This is a good story to remember. I heard him in the Bournemouth. So he says, there was a Yid Rab Shepsel. You remember yourself Rab Shepsel? No? Yeah? A little bit. Do you remember Judy?
I remember
Shepsel.
Yeah.
Rab Shepsel got married when he was 17. Then his wife and him had like a grocery store. You know the grocery stores, you open 6. You stand there like animals till 12 at night, you know, you're dead tired. This goes on. But the Heilige Rab Shepsel says, so listen to me, the way we're operating now, none of us will ever do anything. I'm ready to spend 3 times traveling to the Rebbe's, 3 times at home. 3 months traveling, 3 months home. And on the half of what I'm doing will be for you. Every word I'm learning, every Shabbos I'm spending with the Rebbe's, will be half with me, half for you. So his wife said, okay. In the meantime, you know, I shouldn't go up. When he was almost 3 months at home, 3 months with the Rebbe's, anyway, this was going on for many, many years. One day, a very, very old lady, maybe 75, you know, comes to Reb Shlomo Bobover. You see, he began as a son of Chassid. Then he became a Shinova. Then he went to other Rebbe's. Finally, he ended up Reb Shlomo Bobover. So this woman comes to Reb Shlomo Bobover, and Reb Shlomo says to her, who are you? She says, I'm the wife of Shepsel, and I came to take him to the Torah, to a court, how do you say it, the Torah, to
judgment.
It's simple. So the Holy Son says, so we got to call him Rab Shepsel. Rab Shepsel comes, and Shlomo says, so what do you claim? And she tells him the whole story. And she says she's so afraid, but they come up to heaven, her husband will say, I don't remember the whole story. Says that she wants him to sign the paper now that he gives her. So they did, right? So Reb Shlomo Bobover starts yelling at them. If Rab Shepsel in says, you crazy? You're giving up half your share? What makes you think you have a share in the coming world? Because you're quetching a bank here, a bank there, you're eating soup on Shabbos by this Rebbe, next Shabbos you eat soup by another Rebbe. That's all it takes to get Olam Haba. He threw both of them out. So the whole thing is stupid. After they were out, he says, knock the door. He says, I just didn't want them to know. I just didn't want them to know. But then he says, want you to know, if I would pick up Shepsel, I would ask her for hash a share, half of her item. And the Baba Rebbe said, you know, Rab Shepsel was for all the big Rebbes. When he was 17 years old, there was still the Kuzma. Heilige Kuzma was still alive, and all the big Rebbes. Then he came to Saz. And then he came to Rab Shlomo the Baba. When Rab Shlomo the Baba left the world, he came to Rabbi Tzien. Rabbi Tzien says to him, Rabbi Tzien was 21 years old, the Yibel was 85. And he has seen all the Rebbes. So Rabbi Tzien said, what are you going to do by me now? It's a joke. You saw all the big Rebbes, and now you'll be my chassid. It's not for you. He said, I'll tell you what. I want you to go to all the big Rebbes. But just remember, if you want to come back, the doors are always open. So he left for a year, went to all the big Rebbes, Bez, all the others. And then one day, the present Bob Rebbe told the story. That one day he came back, he ran into the Smeblish, and Mamish ran up to the Rebbe, because he sent him out to find somebody better. So he says, Rebbe, there is nobody better than you. Wow. You know, when Rabbi Tzien was 15 or 16 years old, a big Rebbe came to visit Rav Shlomo the Baba, his father. A very big Rebbe, I don't forget the name. So Rav Shlomo says to him, would you like to see something? A Chiddush, we're going to see something unbelievable? He says, sure. So he says, come, I'll show you my son Rav Tzien, the way he davened. So he took him see what's down there in the cellar to be no disturbances. He goes in the cellar and they look at him. Mamish, you know, Baba Rebbe says, my father, he says, would make a hole in his heart. It's everywhere. So the Rebbe looks like Rabbi Tzien the way down. He says, never seen a Yid. You know, in Yiddish it's a good words. He says, I've never seen a Yid making holes in his heart with every word he utters.
That's the Rebbe today said about his father.
No. He told the story. Because Rav Shlomo the Baba said was Rabbi Tzien.
About his son.
Son, yeah. Never seen a Yid.
About the Rebbe. I don't know if it's true or not. There's a comedian, his name is Shimon Jigan.
Yeah.
So he tells the story. He told it in the public forum. When he was in the concentration camp, he was together with the Baba Rebbe's brother. This Baba Rebbe today had a brother.
Yeah.
And they were together.
That's good do it, yeah.
I don't know his name, his first name. And Shimon Jigan tells, he told it in the Knesset. He was invited one time, for like a special thing or something like that. I had the tape. So he says, I was together with Baba Rebbe's brother, and I asked him, how come Rebbe, you bist doch a free how come all the nations in the world, all oppressed people, they have somebody who puts up a thing, they go in the UN, they have somebody. We Jews have nobody in the whole world. Why is it? Why don't we have it as a nation, a state? So Shimon Jigan said, the Baba Rebbe told me, I'm promising you that we are also going to have a state. We're also going to have somebody who's going to, so there's a Yiddish. I'm not going to be able to see it anymore, but you are going to be able to see it because you have an assignment. You're going to have to be Mesamech, you're going to have to be walk, and you're going to live up to see it. But there is a big light to this. You have the name. And I said, the boy will have a leader promised him, I see that he didn't eat any breakfast. Yeah, he didn't, Shimon tells on him that he didn't eat any breakfast, it's not kosher.
No, he didn't have long,
And he couldn't last out. So, but he says, Divas the Sibelem and Divas the mission in life, you have a job, you have to be a Samech in that for the war. He says it as well.
Unbelievable.
It's Messiah Lefitumah, I think it's a true story. Liberoim.
Let's sing one more good name now.
You want to sing an old song for me?
For you, I'll sing as your end. I rather was holding back for the end because you're the Torah said that why did the angel come the first day of Pesach in the morning? What did it have to do with having a son Yitzchak and getting and wiping out Sodom? So I said to Gemara Torah, you know, every year Avraham Avinu also had to say, why he did everything we're doing. Because Avraham Avinu and Sarah are sitting by the Seder, and they have nobody to ask the Manishtan. So that year was Mamash Avraham Avinu's 99. And she is 89, you know. They were crying all night for Manishtan. When will you give us a child to ask us Manishtan? So that night the crying was so strong. Mamash was the deepest. The next day the Malachim came. And you see what it is? Why is Seder night? You say, Kol Dichon Yetz V'Yechem Mamash, inviting everyone. Yeah, what happened? You hear? Because on that day we wipe out Sodom, and the most anti-Sodom is Kol Dichon Yetz V'Yechem. So, basically it's Avraham Avinu's day. So, because the angel came and said, you'll have a son Yitzchak, his man is Tana. But obviously, and I'm not sure what's true, but obviously the Malach first said we'll destroy Sodom. So we say Kol Dichon. And then the angel said, you'll have a son Yitzchak. So the Kana ben Shaya. That's one Torah I remember. And the other Torah, I think we learned, I'm not sure, maybe even in your house I don't remember. You know, Avraham Avinu, Avraham Avinu was serving God so much and so long, and suddenly after he saved Lot, and he finished the war with the 4 kings and the 5 kings, the First World War, suddenly he says to the one Shem, what's going to be with me? I have no children. So just, I don't know if it's good or bad, what it was learning, that why did Avraham Avinu, why did he mingle in the war? Because they captured Lot, and Avraham Avinu knew that Mashiach is coming from Lot, so he went to save Mashiach. It was his first mamash real connection to Mashiach. You know what it is?
Why is it like that?
You have to move up a little bit, I think. No, okay, good. Yeah, what do you say, brother?
But also is a stack that Mashiach is so hidden, like all the things that, you know, like Lloyd, he wasn't such a big tzaddik, and he was like Mashiach and Lloyd. And also,
No, the country, it didn't come out of it because he's such a tzaddik. Because the whole thing...
No, I mean to say, every holy thing always comes out from somewhere that's not so holy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Because...
Like the story with Yehuda.
Yeah. Because all the rabbis say the same thing, because everything we have to do with Mashiach is so awesome. Some are Brother Devil wouldn't let it happen.
It's like heathen.
It's mamish gewaltig, everything. Anyway, so I said that until Mashiach, you can give over God to your students, right? And you think this is what it is giving over. When you get a taste of Mashiach, then you realize the deepest depth is to give over to your children. So much deeper. I don't know if some of you remember that Moshe Rabbeinu, the Torah was given in Chosroas. Moshe Rabbeinu gives over, Moshe given Torah Messina, gives over to his Chassidim, right, to his students. Sisra Torah, therefore is Rav Shimon, and therefore gives over to his son. Because the deepest depth of the Torah is mamish between parents and children. So after Avraham Avinu tasted mamish, what Mashiach is all about, he says, I can, that kind of depth I can only give over to children. To my children, hopefully. I will learn a little bit from him, the Heilige Yaakov. If you have strength. Okay. Okay, first of all, the way we translate vayera Elov Hashem is that God revealed himself to Avraham. And everybody's asking, but ever God revealed himself to Avraham, it's always says that God revealed himself to Avraham. And it says something. Here it says, and he revealed himself to him. He didn't say anything. And also doesn't say to Avraham. Okay, so here's what all the rabbis say together with him, Ishbitzer. The real translation is not, and God revealed himself to Avraham. But God revealed to Avraham himself. God revealed to Avraham who he is. You know, the Mishnah would always say, I'm not so crazy, but the Gilad you obviously had all the time. He says, I want Rabbi Shem to be Megala my neshama to me. I'm waiting for giving neshama. What do I need Gilad neshama for? And here's the deepest depth. You know, in the Zohar Kodesh, the tree of knowledge is not called the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge, good or bad, is called Ilna Desvega. Ilna Desvega. You know, I can keep Shabbos all my life, learn Torah day and night, and somewhere in the corner of my heart I still don't know what's the right thing. Maybe not, right? You know what always say, who are the Frume Yidden when they see somebody doesn't keep Shabbos, they get wild, angry? And then somebody who always keeps Shabbos, talk to them, I wish I could invite you for Shabbos. What's going on there? See the person who's 100% with Shabbos. Remember, this kid is not into Shabbos here, we got to help him, right? If I'm healthy, and I see somebody walking, limping on the foot, I yell at him. I wish I could cure you. Because for me it's 100%. But if there is a little illness fake, I'm still not so sure myself. I am. Then everybody who doesn't do what I'm doing, triggers off the same fake as, Well, why should I keep Shabbos? Because this Yidden, he looks cute to me. So I get angry. So, oh, he's disgusting, right? And ice water, you know, the whole thing. What happened when we got into the covenants of Ruben? So the Ishmael says, until entered the covenant, he did everything God told him to do. But it was a little bit hard. It was hard. He had mamish like to force himself a little bit to do it. To force himself a little bit. Why do I have to force myself? You know, anything which is, I'm clear 2,000%, I know to force myself. You imagine I pass by a river and somebody is drowning. I don't have to force myself to jump in and get them out. It's too big of a step. Someone calls me up and says, can you do me a favor? Can you please walk barefoot from here to San Francisco? You know, do me a personal favor. If I would do it, I would have to force myself a lot, right? It's just crazy. You wouldn't even look at someone says, it's very important, you know. I may do it, but I have to force myself. So he says, why do I have to force myself? Because Avraham Avinu so far did everything God told him to do, but God was not shining into him what he was really doing. God was not shining into him yet what it is to be an Alach Yibus, what it is to be an Eved Hashem. So vayera Elef Hashem, God was shining into him. Mamash, God was shining into him. So it was clear to him, Mamash, what I'm doing is 100% right. What I'm doing is 100% right. You know why? Until this day, when he invited guests, the Torah doesn't even tell it, although he was inviting guests already since the age of 48, nearly 50 years. Because obviously when he did it, right? But it was still, he had to force himself. But Mamish, after he entered the covenant with God, God was shining into him. It was Mamish clear to him. When you are Machnas Eurech, gewaltig. What kind of a life you bring what kind of a light you bring into the world. What is the Eurer Gunas? You know, the hidden light, the deepest depth of everything. You know, imagine if we would mamish have a taste that each time I do a mitzvah, I fill the whole world with light. I have no problem doing it. I drive. So he says, because until he entered the covenant with God, he was not 100% purified yet. It was something. He says, can you imagine how much simcha Avraham had before he entered the covenant, right? It's also about, right? But it doesn't compare the Enaroich to simcha he had to do what the Moshe wants him to do. Oh, this is so deep, I'm sure you remember we were learning in the time times. If I would be alone in the world, I wouldn't need a name. Basically, my name is only for others. And yet, but there is something inside of me, it's just not leaving me in the world, but just between me and me. And this is so deep, so deep. So far, God revealed himself always to Abraham, the name, means Abraham the way he is in the world. Vayera Hashem. Okay, this is basically talking of Kokutsu about that every year has two functions. One function is to be in the world, between me and the world, and then just between me and God, between me and the Rebbe. This is deepest steps. Until he entered the covenant with God, the priest, which is a form in the world. Amish, making the world should believe in God, but it was not between him and God so much. Vayera Elav Hashem, Amish, just between him and God. Okay, now, first of all, basically, this is the difference between the avodah of Avraham and the avodah of Yitzchak. The avodah of Avraham was in the world. The avodah of Yitzchak is just between him and God. Sure, when he has a chance to do something for the world, it's okay, but this was not its major function. Yitzchak was mamish beino leben kohen. Mamish between him and God. So here, when Yitzchak was just about to come down to the world, suddenly mamish a new passion again. And the way we are with God, that's where we are with people. You can be Machnus Eurech, and can have 2,000 guests, but between me and the guests, nothing is happening. Yeah. So his mom said, oh, why you want to have hair and get mother? He said, I can serve God. I can keep Shabbos all my life. But between me and Shabbos is nothing. What's the holiness of a Yid? Mamish beini avem b'nei Yisrael, between me and the Yid. I watch sometimes their New Year's, right? What's the problem? There's nothing between them and January 1st. On January 1st they get wild, right? Nothing between that person and their New Year's, right? By Yid, beini avem b'nei Yisrael. So Vayera Elav Hashem. Suddenly what the Hashem was shining into him, mamish between me and God, like between me and God. Okay, what's the Dome all about? First of all, if you see a poor man, and you can manage not to give him anything, even if he's dying of hunger. Obviously, there's nothing between you and that person. I can give tzedakah, but for me and that person, nothing's happening. Sometimes they give one penny to poor man. Between is so strong. Well, something awesome. Why did Chava talk to the snake? Why did the snake talk her into? Because obviously she was married to Adam, right? But between them was nothing yet. So she talks to the snake. So Adam says to her, don't eat the forbidden fruit, so you have to listen. This is the inner is fake right there.